Actually, they both have a great sense of humor. When you're marrying a guy like Brian, you better. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our best man. Let's give it up for Alex.
I hope you're ready. There comes a time in a man's life when he finds that special someone. Someone who's going to understand him for the rest of his life, who he's going to love and cherish. His soulmate. This moment happened for Brian when he met me 11 years ago in Higley. Now, when Brian asked me to be the best man at his wedding, I was very honored, and I really, to this day, am honored. But before I get too much into my speech, I have to thank a few people. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for Lindsay, Rosie, Eileen, Christy, Kara, the maid of honor. I also like to thank all of the bridesmaids, all of the groomsmen. We wouldn't be here without you. One other person who I absolutely have to thank, because we would not be here without him, is myself again. Because some of you may know that, yeah. There are so many funny stories that come to mind when I think of some of the times that Brian and I have shared. But I promised Brian I wouldn't say anything too incriminating or embarrassing about him. And I certainly wouldn't talk about the time in high school when we would play quarters until we would pass out ridiculously drunk. Or about the time in the desert when we saw how far an Xterra could launch. Some of you will laugh. The truth is, when I think about Brian, three words come to mind. Past, present, future. So starting with the past, the day I met Brian, our sophomore year of high school, we had a mutual friend in this Wade's PE class. And I remember seeing my friend, walking over to him, and I see this big, strong guy with red hair and these long sideburns and big red goatee. And I'm thinking, geez, that must be the baseball coach or something. This guy's like 21, 30 years old. What's he doing in this high school class? But a simple handshake, an introduction, turned into me being here tonight. And again, Brian, I'm truly honored. And Audra, I thank you both so much for having me here and being the best man in the world. It really means a lot. Now, I do remember when Brian and Audra started dating. And I have to say, I heard it through the grapevine. Some of the people here told me, but Brian was so scared to tell me that he was dating someone who... I'm still scared. Yeah. But when this moment did happen, I looked Brian in the eyes then and I told him, you know, I'm totally happy for you. You have my blessing. And again, I can stand here and look you in the eye and let you know that I'm here for both of you. I'm so happy for you. And you both deserve each other very much.
Yeah.
Brian truly is honestly like a brother to me. He is my brother. You know, and I've always looked up to him. When Brian had an Xterra, I had to get an Xterra. We shared the same car. We shared the same cell phone. We dated some of the same girls. I mean, everything that he had, I told you, I hope you're ready. One thing that I've always admired about Brian, though, is how profound and genuine he is. And a story I have to quickly tell, one that definitely comes to mind, is a few years back, I told Brian I was going to the Dominican Republic to look for my birth family. And Brian came over and he bought me this book about the country. I'd never been there before, how to get around, and was just so supportive of that trip. But the things like that are what really makes this man mean so much to me. And I know that all of us have stories about Brian similar, where he shows how truly caring he is. And I just want to thank you so much for that. I really do. That was the past. Now jumping ahead to the present. When Brian and Audra made the decision to move back to San Diego, I was really happy. Two close people in my life are finally going to be back in my life after being gone for years. I had seen Brian a few times, but it had been years since we really got to hang out and spend some good quality time together. Since then, we've been catching up and have really become a big part of each other's lives again. From that wine is good. From discussions about school, to business ventures, to future travel plans. I'm very grateful that Brian is back living in San Diego, and that Audra's back too, and to have them back in my life. Now this leads to the future. And for the future, I want to talk to both of you. Will you share something really special? Your husband and wife, your best friends, and you have a very exciting and full life ahead of both of you. As you move forward in your new life as one, I would like to encourage you to continue to be open and honest with one another, and continue to learn about one another. The road ahead will be filled with many great adventures, but there will be ups and downs. So just remember to always listen to one another, support one another. You both have all my love and support. I couldn't be happier for the two of you. A phrase that I saw that I really want to share is, remember that to the world you may be one person, but to one person you may be the world. So be the world to one another. To Brian and Audra, everyone please raise their glass. To Brian and Audra, may all your ups and downs be between the sheets. Who wrote that? To Brian and Audra, to many years of happiness. I love you both. Thank you all for doing that.
And once again, ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together for our best man, Alex. You know, I get to participate in quite a few weddings, and I was doing one a few weeks back, and we did this little dance thing where you invite all the couples out to the dance floor, you find out who's been married the longest, and this couple, they'd been married 57 years, and so I asked the gentleman, I said, well, what's your key to a long, happy marriage? And he said, marry a good woman. I think you did that right. So I turned to her, and I said, well, do you have any advice for a long, happy marriage? And she turns to me and she says, make sure he marries a good woman. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our maid of honor. Let's hear it for Kara.
Before I start my toast, I need to preface it by saying this song is for you. Alright. Good evening, everyone. Please allow me a few minutes to share some words with my sister and new brother-in-law, Brian and Audra. Let me begin with a quote that is very fitting. Love is a friendship sent to music. I cannot think of two more perfect people for one another. It has taken you two many years, but you are finally here, and I know you will have a terrific life together. But just in case, I have to share some words of wisdom. Number one, please put the toilet seat down. Number two, fall in love with each other every day. Number three, as Grandpa would say, never go to bed angry and kiss each other every night. Perfect. Number four, communicate with each other no matter what. Number five, respect yourself and each other. Number six, let go of the past, build your future. Number seven, make every moment last. Number 8, do not fart on one another. Both of you? Number 9. It's okay.
I've got the cake from a good house.
I'm the good one. Okay. Number 9. Brian, when you and your wife are arguing, remember that even if you're right, you were wrong. Just let her win. Number 10. If you are going to argue, do it naked. Number 11. All you need is love, and everything else will fall into place. Number 12. Once a year, visit your sister in Pennsylvania. Number 13. Do not collect too many pandas. You only need one apiece. Number 14. Sundays will always be football days, no matter if there's a game on. JETF. Number 15. Kiss each other every day, even if you don't feel it. Number 16. Love each other wholeheartedly. Number 17. Do not dwell on flaws, nor try to change one another. Rather, love one another for what makes you you. Number 18. Pennsylvania is not that far away, and there are And last but not least, number 19. There are 3 very important dates to never forget. August 1st, September 22nd, and July 2nd. All kidding aside, I love you both very much. Brian, I am so lucky to have you as my brother. And you are the best sister. I love you.
All right.
I love you both. I wish you a lifetime of happiness, joy, and nothing but excitement. So, everybody can please raise their glasses. I wish my brother and sister a happy life together, and Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Clink, clink.
Thank you, Mr. Bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's put our hands together for our maid of honor. Let's